Hey guys, GHAZZY TV here with another Path of Exile video leading into 3.22 Trial of the Ancestors. In this one, we're going to talk about Absolution. It is the first build out of the long list of builds we've been going through on stream today at the time of the recording that actually has some changes to it. We are not just changing the tag from 3.21 to 3.22. It's actually having changes. No, it's not going to be a Guardian. You know, leave those hopes to die in whatever abyss they came from. That's not going to happen. So we're going to stay Necromancer. I'm going to use a PUB that is currently not entirely fine-tuned, so those things will be in the written build guide, which will be linked in the descriptions down below as soon as I'm done with it, which should be by Thursday latest. So do check that out. All the details for everything will be in there. This is not a build guide video. It is an update video to talk about the changes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the approach of, let's do a low-budget version first. That's a dark bite, sorry. Absolution. I don't have the low-budget done, actually. So I can only show you the high-budget version right now. So what we're going to do is we're looking at first things first, and that is the PUB DPS. Now, me and Creperian has talked quite a lot about Absolution over the years, and the PUB DPS is not accurate. The rough estimate is that on a lower budget build, initial league starting gear and stuff like that, then the DPS is about 3 times as high as the PUB is saying. When you go up in towards the medium budget-ish, according to my PUB, the last check we did, which we can't actually verify anymore because of a couple of other changes, the DPS was about 4.5 times higher than what PUB is saying. And in the high budget, it's closer to 5 to 6 times higher. And if you go mirror tier, giga helmets, all those super juice stuffs, it's closer to 8 times the PUB DPS. So I'm going to show you the medium life-based version, which is the first iteration of this build that you go from using a tabula and whatever chit care pieces you're going for, and you're actually switching into playing with Doriani's prototype. Now, a couple of quick notes about Doriani's prototype is, of course, that it is making ourselves scale more damage the lower the lightning resistances the enemy has. Now, because of that, we want to drag down our lightning resist as much as possible, but at the same time, we need to mitigate lightning damage. Doriani's prototype makes it so that lightning damage from hits is going to be mitigated by our armor, so we want to have a lot of armor. However, when it comes to lightning dots, which are very few in this game, you're going to die. You're going to die a lot. So make sure that the type of content you plan on running is not infested by this. Eater World influenced content, the Eldritch influenced Eater World, the blue one. There is a tentacle from those mobs that spawn that does lightning dots. So that is content you can do it, but you have to be careful. But it's a bit annoying. So normally what I would do when I play Absolution like this is that I would just kill the pinnacle boss for it, but I wouldn't farm the Eater World content because of this. Baron influenced monsters or maps, that is one of the Conqueror influenced bosses, puts squares on the ground that deals lightning dot damage. You can get out of those before the dot starts dealing damage. Just annoying, so try to avoid that as well. Outside of that, you have things like the Elder Guardian, the Constrictor, I think it is, the lightning one, has some lightning dots as well, and some bosses have it. So you just got to be wary and aware of this state. So what actually did change then from 321 to 322? Well, thanks to Grave Intentions giving us 20% of the maximum life of our minions as extra energy shield, makes us able to utilize the Mask of the Stitch Demon setup for our Animate Guardian. This gives the minion a 20% of the life as max energy shield, which is how we get tons of extra life regen, and we can use Critical Pelt for more life regen on top of that. Doppelganger is okay, but Critical is better. And this combination works best if you have minion life supported by the Animate Guardian. So the changes we've done in the medium budget version is to remove the vitality support that aura that we used to run, and we put our specters in here instead. And then we create a 4-link setup for our Animate Guardian. Now I'm using a Divine Blessing in this current iteration of PUB till the gem is inside the PUB with a Wrath aura and minion life. This allows us to get a ton of extra damage output for our minions, which is very, very nice to see. As you can see here, we have a PUB DPS of 16.5 million. So show you the DPS outputs, or the defensive output for Animate Guardian. He has 40,000 and 30. 40,357 life plus 8,556 energy shield, and Guardian's Blessing at level 20 would then degen him 14.3% to that. That is 7,000 life per second. This is then mitigated by not armor, but generic physical damage mitigating modifiers such as Indomitable Army or Doppelganger. This build has none of that, so he will take the full force of this. But as you can see, with the gear setup, he's regenerating 12,000 life per second, meaning he is regenerating more life, quite significantly more life, than the degen he's taken from running this setup. This is why we're going to be able to run this, and this allows us to get a ton more damage out of this build, and this build is already doing a stupid amount of damage. It's not a super tanky build, so if you feel like you're annoyed by dying, I wouldn't recommend playing an Absolution build. I personally would rate the Absolution in its previous version and the current version at an A tier. It's a very solid League Starter build. It does very well on the lower budget front. I'm going to show you the low budget PUB from the 3.21 version here, which is right here, having about 800,000, almost 900,000 PUB DPS, which would then be 3 times as high, which is very respectable, sitting on about 2.5 million. However, we're not going to Grave Intentions on the low budget, so I will not use the Guardian's Blessing on the low budget version. So on the low end, we would not make any changes. The changes are exclusively on the higher budget version. And a quick glance on the CI version, when you're really going to push in currency to this build, the DPS just goes absolutely crazy. As you can see here with 22 million. And this is high budget. I'd expect about 5 or 6 times the damage output. So with 5 or 6 times the damage output, you're looking at over 100 million Shaper DPS for this build. It's insane how effective it is. But again, we're staying Necromancer. And in the high budget version, we're making a couple of other changes. And that is not having a Vitality to put our Spectres in. So instead, we're removing our Arcanist brand and Vortex to allow us to run the Ray Spectre with Meat Shield, actually. Which you can change for minion life if you prefer in the setup in the high budget version. So that actually are changes for this build, which is quite fun to see. But other than that, we just got some extra damage output with a build that already deals an insane amount of damage, and that's it. The low budget version will remain the same. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, all the details are linked inside the build guide, which is the written guide linked in the descriptions down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment down below what you guys think of the Absolution. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe, keep rocking.